From the center of Huddersfield, here's Trevor and Julian with the Making Excuses podcast. And who's our special guest today? Yeah!
So, you might not notice this, but we are all donning a Nikki's Nosh badge. And that's because we've got Nikki from Nikki's Nosh. Welcome to the Making Excuses podcast studio, Nikki.
Oh, thank you, Trevor, and thank you, Julian.
Thank you, Nikki.
I don't know, there's so many excuses that I could probably give. But does it have to be making an excuse?
No, it's purely just being here. You've made an excuse to be here. That's it. That's the end of the show. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
It is true, though, because there are so many things that we could have done in the past, and like now you've been here, and it's so easy to make an excuse to not be here, or you've got something else on. So we're really, really glad that you didn't make an excuse and you made a more positive excuse to get here, and you've come a long way from York.
I have a bit of a problem with... Well, I stutter a lot. I do stutter.
Yeah.
You probably don't notice it now because I'm feeling animated.
Yeah.
But when I'm on my own and I'm doing something, I'm having to think of the script. I don't work to a script.
Yeah.
Because, well, if you're sitting in a restaurant, you can't work to a script. You can't say...
No.
You can't say...
This food's lovely.
Let me just write it down and then put it onto my teleprompter and then say, and absolutely marvellous. You know.
I liked that accent, actually.
Absolutely marvelous.
What do you mean?
So so the thing is that it's when you're doing a food review,
Yeah.
it's very impromptu. But when you're at home doing a food review, because I started doing ready meal reviews,
Yeah.
and it was awful. It was like I hated doing it in the end because who's going to spend 10 minutes watching someone cooking a ready meal that you put in the microwave for 2 minutes?
Yeah.
So I've been trying to work out how I can redo that.
Yeah.
How can I bring that back and make it fun and more interesting? So I've got a few tunes. However, the other thing is I live on my own.
Right.
Now, the whole thing about me doing the channel was to get me out of the house. That was the first point. But the second point was that there are a lot of people who are living on their own. Right? They may be students. They may be old people. You know, their husbands died or their wives died and they're on their own and they really need some guidance. And so the whole thing of me doing the ready meals originally was to actually show people that you could cook for one and cook at a reasonable price.
Right.
And make it interesting and make it tasty. However, I never really got to that stage because what happened was, and this is the strangest of things, is that I was doing these ready meals and I'd bought myself the Pocket 3 camera, and my phone, the battery started to swell. It was running out of power. This is what happens with lithium batteries. Yeah. So I thought, what am I going to do? So I knew there was where I used to live on the other side of York, and there was this shop. It was called the Phone Repair Shop or something. Phone repairs. They had none of them have adventurous names for their phone repair shops because of course phone repair says it all. So I go to him and I said, "Can you fix it?" He said, I said, "It's a Xiaomi." I said, they're selling Xiaomi have overtaken Samsung, but he says, "Oh, I can't get the batteries." So I said, "Well, look, I'll tell you what. You order it and see if you can order it, and then I'll come back." So I walk away all forlorn with my phone obviously swollen. I kept the phone, and next to his store was a fish and chip shop that I used to go to a lot. It was called the Bluefin Fish and Chip Shop. And so I go in there. I thought, well, I've got the camera, I've got my phone. What? So I did a roving thing. I was going to just test it. I was just to see how it goes, and I got these beautiful fish and chips. And I thought, I can't sit. I tried to sit outside, but it was a busy road and it was really, really bad. And I didn't have DaVinci Resolve Studio at that time, and so consequently, I knew full well I wouldn't be able to get the road noise. So I drove home. And I ate the fish and chips at home. And I thought, what should I do here? So I'll tell you what, I think I'll do it. So I basically edited it and I put it out. And it got 1,000 views. 10 times what I was getting on the ready meal reviews. And I thought, this is, it's costing me more, obviously, because when you buy a ready meal a ready meal might cost you £2.50 or £3, whereas a fish and chips is going to cost you 10. So it's a 3 to 1. It could, and obviously I went to the Whip It in York, and that was 65 quid or £60.
so-
Well, compared to a ready meal, it's a fiver.
Yeah.
So, you are spending more money.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you've got 1,000 views compared to 250 views, it does world of good. So I thought, it was about a year ago. So I stopped doing the ready meal reviews, and I don't think I've even done a ready meal review since. Stopped doing that, and I started doing these dining out. And I've been looking after this dog called Lenny. And I thought he would actually do really well, help me to get my channel further up. I thought he would go viral, and he didn't. I did this video with him, and he's such a handsome little fellow. And I did we went to the Hound Lounge, and I thought, this is really going to take off. He's going to attract quite a lot of interest. Well, he's done about 700. We've got about 750 views on it. Now, normally on my videos, I get at least 1,000 views on every video I do. Yeah. I don't know why that is. They probably think, let's see how far this clown is going to go. He's been singing for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the thing is, I thought he was going to take off. Anyway, I couldn't bring him with us because he's house trained, but the thing is, he would be a pest.
Yeah.
And so I dropped him off at my ex's house. So he's there, and I'll pick him up later.
Yeah.
I'm looking after him, basically.
Yeah.
I wish we had him on. We could do with those 700 views.
I think we could.
He's a nice
We
little
could.
dude. He's a cockapoo.
I would have thought that was a dead cert by having a team mascot on your channel, Nikki.
Well, yeah.
But clearly, you are the star and have outclassed any animal. I'm trying to think. Well, Lassie, when we was younger, Lassie was on TV, wasn't
Right.
it?
Yes.
What were the other ones?
It was Skippy.
Skippy.
No, that was a kangaroo.
Bush kangaroo.
Yeah.
There was other dogs. Benji.
A wolf. Wolf, the TV series. The boy used to turn into a dog.
series,
Yeah.
See, I'm more interested. If I was going to have a dog on my channel, really, I wouldn't have a real dog. I would have what was that? Spit the dog.
Oh, yes.
Karolji's
That's it.
guy. He made a good living for having a puppet. Yeah.
Do I understand that you've recently been diagnosed with ADHD?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the worst part of ADHD, and this is the thing, is it's called rejection sensitivity dysphoria. So, for example, we're doing a podcast, Nikki. You can come along if you like, right? I might see that as well. Trevor's just inviting me to come along, but he doesn't really. If you like, you can come along, right?
Yeah.
That's one way to do it. No, Nikki, we're doing this podcast, and we really would like you to come, and we really like to come and do it. Well, I would say, great, I'll come along. Because the thing is that there's the first thing, the way I worded it first was, well, he doesn't really want me there, so I'll say no.
Yeah. You do
Because
realise.
you feel rejected.
I'm trying to remember how I invited.
The intonation, yeah.
I didn't say I'd like to.
But I was thinking it did I? It wasn't more positive on how I wanted you.
We know what to say now, though. We've got biscuits, Nikki. We have biscuits.
The worst thing is that rejection is you can't handle it, and I've lost relationships because of it, and I've lost opportunities as well. Business opportunities as well, because I've felt rejected by it. But it goes back to when I was a kid, really little. I had it was my 14th birthday or something like that, and I said to my parents, because I'd been invited to a few people's kids' birthday parties, and they said, I said, look, can I have a birthday party? And my father said no, you see, because he was a miserable. I don't particularly like my father. I went to his funeral so I could dance in his grave.
Yeah.
But he, I asked them. They said, you can have a birthday party. You'll have to organise yourself. So I organised it. My mother whittled up some food, but we were culturally impoverished, I have to honestly say. But I invited, and only 2 people came. till my 13th, 14th birthday. As a result of that, I didn't communicate with anybody for 2 years. I went into my shell, and I didn't go, because I mean it's how do you handle that? There's no way of anybody handling if you have two. Now it might well have been that I hadn't organised it properly, right? But when you only 2 people come to the door and you expect maybe it's 10 or you maybe accept 12 people, that's it. So rejection is a terrible thing, and this is the problem with YouTube, because the thing is, there's a lot of people who do YouTube have got ADHD.
Yeah,
there's hundreds of them. Comics are the same. There's almost every comedian that you see on the circuit has got ADHD, so they can actually hyper focus on remembering the broad skit of what they're going to be talking about. They can't ever remember lines.
Yeah,
right. I did amateur dramatics. I could never remember the lines, and I could never remember the dancing. Right. We used to do sort of, songs from the shows and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I couldn't really remember the words, and I certainly couldn't remember the dance steps. So it was awful, really, absolutely awful. But so people, when they do ADHD, if they've got ADHD and they're doing a YouTube channel, they do the YouTube channel and they think, well, I didn't particularly like that. Okay, that's the point. And therefore they say, because I didn't like that video, because I stuttered or stumbled, or I didn't get to the point, or if I forgot something, what happens is that video never goes out.
Yeah.
So it can't do what you did with yours, right? Because you'd say, well, perfection is the important thing. Unless I'm perfect in what I'm doing, they're only going to reject me. They're going to laugh at me. They're going to ridicule me. They're going to hate me, and I'm going to lose subscribers. I'm not going to win subscribers, and so consequently, you don't do it. And so people with ADHD are extremely good at doing videos because they can be creative and they can be, concentrate on everything, and they can be incredibly creative. They can be funny. They can think of the most odd things and make it interesting. However, they've also got this problem of perfection.
Yeah.
And so consequently, they just don't do it. Well, I've done a little bit of an analysis. Can I talk about the analysis thing?
Sure.
So
briefly, we've got like 5 minutes left, so let's we'll try.
Then we got to swap the things over. Are we finished?
I think that'll be it. Oh, beep.
I thought we were giving lots of time.
No.
Jabbering.
No. So we've the YouTube and the ADHD have been great topics.
Okay.
But it's
okay. Right, well, let me finish then. I'll finish.
Yeah.
This. So, now. The one thing that ADHD people do is that they also analyse stuff, right? So the thing is that they say, well, I'm going to get rejected, but let's see if I am going to be rejected. And so what I've done is I've actually analysed. I've not done a video for 4 weeks,
right?
And so I wanted to see what my channel was going to do if they had no videos. So they had 80 videos to choose from the sort of the treasure trove of Nikki's Nosh.
Yeah.
And the thing is, let's see what happens. Well, I've worked out that I'm getting about 10 subscribers a week, and I'm getting about £9 monetization. Now, £9 is nothing. It doesn't pay £70 or £60 for the whip it in meal at all.
Yeah.
So the thing is that I'm actually I'm losing money on my videos, because obviously in my videos I sit there and I eat, and that costs money. If I was doing a video like this, of course, all I ever had to spend is on the biscuits. Right?
It's called us cheapskates. Are you saying we're cheapskates?
No, because it's a different type of thing. Now, I've been trying to scratch my head and find out, is there a cheaper way of keeping my channel going by doing something different? And so I know I have the jury is still out, but I wanted to know what my base level was.
Yes.
And the base level is sufficient. I'd be able to get 4,000 watch hours every year by just the videos they've already done.
Yeah.
But obviously I'm not satisfied with that. So I'm trying to find ways. So I'm at the point where I got pissed off. I got really cheesed off with and I'm getting 1,000 views per videos, and that not many people get 1,000 views.
No, it's a big milestone.
It's a big
for the 4
I can do that, but I can't get the subscribers.
It would help if the dog pulled its weight. Clearly, it's a taker, and it's got fed and turned up and then went.
But the thing is that there's also this thing.
Yeah.
when YouTube puts you on, right? You start on YouTube until you get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. YouTube are putting adverts on your channel, and they're getting 100% of the income. Right? You get monetized. I personally think all of a sudden the algorithm says, well, these people are not profitable for us anymore. And that is true. So all of a sudden, for the adverts, when I didn't have monetization, they were getting 100% of the ad revenue. Now they're having to give me 55% of it. So £9, £10 a week. Okay. And I'm doing nothing and they're doing nothing. But the thing is, they've got, when you have got between 1,000 and 5,000 subscribers, thereabouts, because subscribers and views tend to be sort of tied in. When you've got that, you're in between that. You're in what I call the doldrums. Now, you don't know what the doldrums are. I'm in the doldrums. Well, the doldrums were an area of the Atlantic, I think,
where there's no tide.
Where there's no tide, but there's also no wind.
Yeah.
And so constantly the ships would sail into the doldrums. They could be in there for 3 or 4 weeks. Okay. So there is this, and it's between 1,000 and 5,000. Once you get to 5,000, all of a sudden the algorithm shows more interest into you, and therefore all of a sudden you can do a same video and it'll just do better. But the thing is, I mean, I've done all sorts of analysis. I did a collaboration with somebody, right, and we used the same copy, the same video. I edited it my way and he edited his, right. I got 3,700 views on mine and he got 800.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it?
And he's got 4,000 subscribers, and I only had 1,600.
Yeah.
Now you can't explain that, can you?
No, it's bizarre.
I think we're coming to the end. So
there you go. So that's my journey so far on YouTube. Nikki's Nosh.
It's bye for now from the podcast crew. Trevor and Julian with au revoir to you. Downtown Huddersfield vibes, so true. Like us, make a comment, don't be shy, and remember to subscribe and share. Give it a try. Making excuses, but we never